And we are now live. Good morning, my minions, henchmen, interns, and employees, and welcome back to Masquerade Industries. As per always and per ever, I am your... starting to run out of words here. I am your fearsome and fantastic host and CEO, Mal Damask. Start of a new work week, everyone, which means we're getting started on keeping things busy and all that good nonsense. Luckily for me, I'll be able to go on vacation next week, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I hope everyone is doing well, and certainly looking forward to today because we will be starting on something new. One of my more, shall we say, a little bit more out there games that I have in my collection. Allow me to get us started. Oh, crap, I did not realize that there was an ad going. My apologies. I'll need to pay more close attention to that. Well, regardless, I'll be getting us set up in the interim. Just need to shut off the music. There we are. We are now live on the road with let's load along Kentucky Route Zero. Now this is a fascinating game. It's a point-and-click adventure, but oh, yes, let's really clear this save. Why we need something new. So, how should we get started? A blank videotape, blank audio tape, blank notebook. Let's do a videotape, shall we? Enjoy a little bit of analog. Now, Kentucky Route Zero, for those who aren't familiar, is a point-and-click adventure game in which we will be traversing the roads less well-traveled, to say the least. It's an unusual experience, exploring the parts of America that others don't quite rightly know about. Perhaps later I'll tell a bit of a story about my own experiences with the other America. Oh, someone is turning. Yes, Act 1. Launching. Act 1, Scene 1. We can treat this as a play in 5 parts. Act 1, Scene 1, Eckes Oils. Look at that sight. Those are the kinds of off-road, or off the main path, gas stations that you only see on the byways between America. Diesel engine rumbles. Look to my dog. An old hound and a straw hat, both have seen better days. A moving truck rumbles softly to itself. Painted on its side are the words Lisette's Antiques, Furniture, Glassware, Curiosities. Joseph sits between gas pumps and a Queen Anne armchair. His hair is gray and his glasses darkened. Damn, hear that wreck? Truck full of bottles. I don't know, beer bottles, whiskey, lost a tire or something, spilled booze and glass all over the interstate. What a mess. Hope they don't come along down here looking for anything. We blew a damn fuse and it's all shut off. Did I hear a dog? What's his name? Hmm. His name's Homer. Bit of a shuffle or a drag in Homer step. Kind of an old one, isn't he? Well, guess he's got some stories then. Hey, there's some jerky for Homer. Here's some jerky for Homer. Made it myself. Didn't turn out too well, but I bet dog will eat it. It's getting late, right? I can feel the sun on my neck. Bet it's just a few feet off the horizon. I've been driving all evening looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Hey, I understand. You've got to do the job you're paid to do. Maybe get some rest somewhere in there. Maybe have a drink, then back at it. There's dignity in that rhythm. Well, what's your rhythm like? Oh, I just like to listen to the TV. Used to do a lot of poultry on the computer, but I didn't have an ear for it lately. Listen, you and Homer have been driving up and down 65 all night. Dogwood Drive is on the other side of, well, to get there you gotta take the zero. The zero is a tough route to find, but you can use my computer to look up the directions. You'll have to head down into the basement to reset the circuit breaker first. I'll be happy to have those whining lights back up anyway. It's too damn quiet out here. Basement door is just there in the back of the office. Appreciate your help, friend. Oh, and here. Take this lamp. Gets dark. Lamp button. I love that the click direction is a horseshoe game. Speaking of horses, yeah, look at that. Ain't that a sight? All right, let's head downstairs. Oh, there's some folks, basement people. Emily, Ben, and Bob sit in folding chairs behind a worn card table. Papers, oddly shaped dice, and highway maps cover the tabletop. You all seen a breaker box down here? Did you hear something? No, sorry, I was looking at the rules again. Gets easier as you go. Look, you said you rolled a 5, right? That means you get to pick up your marker and move it anywhere on the map. So it's your turn now, right? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Where'd you put that 20-sided die? I don't see it. Did you drop it? Should be easy enough to find. Glows in the dark. Hmm. See if we can't find that die. A dusty, rusty sign is bolted to the wall. These are the rules. Rule number 1. Oh, hello, Jag. Welcome. We've just hit the road with Kentucky Route Zero. We've only just gotten started. We are playing a trucker named Conway who is searching for one last delivery on the roadside, looking for a place called 5 Dogwood Drive, which can only be accessed through a road known as the Zero. For now, we're trying to find a breaker to turn on some lights at a gas station. Alright, these are the rules. Rule number 1, no open flames near the gasoline. Rule number 2, no consumption of beer or spirits on the premises. Rule number 3, in case of sudden darkness, do not panic. Relax and count backwards from 5. Rule number 4, strictly limit the time spent in the basement to fewer than 3 minutes every hour. Interesting set of rules, huh? Oh, there's that missing game piece. Click. Conway picks up a glowing 20-sided die and inspects it. The number 5 is facing up. It's just a small piece of plastic, but it has a reassuring, almost comforting weight. Places the object in his jacket pocket. Alright, hey kids, I found your... There are 3 people sitting here playing some kind of tabletop game. The folding chairs are arranged around a worn card table. Chairs are empty, and the surface of the table is bare. I'm not going to mess around with ghosts, so I'm going to leave that die there. Maybe it turns bad, but it's probably going to turn weird is more like it. Alright, there we go. Got the breaker turned on. Now let's head back upstairs. Oh yes, the name of this establishment is called Eckes Oils. Look at that decoration. The art style of this game is gorgeous. This is the kind of stuff you only see on the byways between cities in the United States, between towns too. All right, Joseph. Also, we got an old bloodhound. His name's Homer. There it is. Just listen to those lights whine. Yep. There were some people down in your basement playing some kind of game, but they're gone now. In the basement? No, I don't think so. Maybe that lamplight was playing tricks on you, huh? Well, strange things happen underground, especially in the dark. So, computers in the office. You're looking for Marquez. She knows her way around those roads. She'll get you to the 0. The password is... damn, I usually just fill it out. Muscle memory, you know? It's kind of long, kind of like a short poem, I think. One of those short poems that really sums it all up. You'll figure it out. Okay. Alright, let's turn on the computer. Conway taps a key, waking the computer from its reverie. User, Joseph. Password. The stars drop away. It's late. The lights whine. Password accepted. Hooray! Poetry passwords! How's it going in there? Figuring it all out? Sure you are. Let's take a look at messages first. Message 1 is from Donald at hotmk.mail. Message 1. Subject, fragments of dim lovely forms. Joseph, I know it's been a while, and I know you're still sore, but there's a whole world in here, and we need your help to unmask it. Yes, the caves are cold and damp, and we are old and lame. Never mind. I can't remember why I even started writing this. I miss those days in the lab with you and our dear Lula. Maybe you found your own Xanadu. Well, so have I. End of message. Let's see message 2. From accounts at consolidated.mail. Account standing, urgent. Dear Ecus Oils, this is an urgent automated message that your account is overdue for more than 14 days. In response, we have switched you to our low reliability Dirt Power Plus plan. Consider making a payment immediately to obviate the need for us to switch you to Sustained Brownout Select. Sincerely, your friends at the Consolidated Power Company. End of message. Let's look away from the messages. Let's go to the address books now. The 0. Address the 0 is not real. Okay, Dogwood Drive. Address Dogwood Drive is not real. Okay, where's Marquez? Marquez residence. 100 Moncondo Lane. Head northeast on 65, then turn left as soon as you see that ugly tree that's always on fire. Look for the barn at the base of the mountain there. Can't miss it. Okay, we got our directions. Got it? Out there on Moncondo somewhere? Right, yeah, that's it. Hey, look, while you were down there, I loaded that old TV of mine into your truck. I borrowed that thing from Weaver Marquez a number of years ago, and now that the power is all weird all over here, I can't pick up anything but static and public access anyway. She was always more of a reader, but maybe she wanted it back at home. It's a nice TV. There were games on the computer. I'm kind of curious. Games is not real. Alright. Well, I'm not getting chewed out by the power company. The owner of Ecus Oils is, or at least the owner of the station, who is permanently switched to Dirt Cheap plan. Alright, thank you. Sun's gone down. You and Homer better get on that road if you're going to make your delivery. Speaking of the... Yep, this is Homer. Conway scratches behind Homer's right ear. How's it going, Homer? Have had a treat. Here's some jerky from that gas station attendant. Reminds me a bit of your old man Ira. He was a good man. Good boss. What do you think of this place? It's odd. I never noticed it driving by. The dialogue in this game is very fascinating. It feels like we're witnessing a stage play in action. And you know me, I love my stage plays. Conway is ready to leave. Now, I've mentioned this before, but this game is very much about the other America. Okay, what was the directions again? It was go west down 65. Whoa, until we come across the tree that's always burning. Oh wait, yeah, I mentioned there was a wreck nearby. Yeah, something went off the road and lots of breaking and smashing, and those are coffins. Huh. Hey, Homer. What a mess, huh? A gas station. You think anyone was hurt? Looks like a tough one to walk away from. Coffins. Huh. All I see is a blown out tire, but interesting. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, because Conway doesn't want to stay any longer. Let's get on board. Oh yes, Other America. So some of you are probably wondering what the hell I'm talking about with Other America. Oh wait, that's Glasgow Road. No, I need to stick to the highway. Interstate 65. Then taking Louisville and Plum Springs. Mount Olive Gherkin Road. Oh, Buffalo Creek Wreck. The office of the Buffalo Creek Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation is almost invisible from the road. Its parking lot overgrown with weeds is faded with shelter ivy. Let's look in a window. The office of... Okay, yep. Conway looks through a window. A sinewy shadow obstructs the view through the window. Let's go inside, out of curiosity. Floor is loosely covered in dirt. Parts of the carpet have rotted with exposure to the rain. Wild mushrooms grow in some corners of the room. A wall behind the front desk has been mostly rotted away. It looks fragile. Conway finds himself in what may have once been a conference room. The floor has fallen away in pieces and filled with a dark green mire. The walls of the conference room are decayed and damaged. Drywall dissolves as Conway pushes through it, falling in damp clumps in the marsh. He breaks through into a long hallway. A glow of bioluminescent fungus casts a faint blush on the walls. Conway has a feeling he has interrupted something. After a moment of silence, the frog chorus resumes. Uh, th- there's some kind of there's a surrealness to places like this that I adore. Okay, going down Smith's Grove Scotts Road. I'm supposed to take a right at the tree that's always on fire. God, if somebody does an "Are we there yet" thing, I'd absolutely go. Yep, that would be something. I am thinking of maybe getting a text-to-speech. Oh, there's the dragonflies. There we go. The truck jerks toward the shoulder, nearly run off the road by a swarm of dragonflies. Their wings beat briefly into the headlights and disappear into the night. I have been thinking of an idea for what I could do for a text-to-speech thing, but okay. The burning tree. Tall black oak burns on the hill above the road. Let's take a note. Okay, so I gotta head northeast. It was northeast, no, and turn left as soon as I see the ugly tree that's on fire, so it's this way. There you go, the Marquez farmhouse. Think about maybe getting a little office guy, putting him behind the desk. Act 1, Scene 2. The Marquez farmhouse. Hey, Homer. Pretty dark out here, huh? Hope I can borrow you a treat up there. Alright. Nope, there's a lamp. Street lamp lights the base of a dusty path leading up the hill. Also, like, I don't know if anyone sees, but the interaction for the point-and-click thing is a horseshoe, which is very much fun. I love it. Oh, a little graveyard. A family graveyard is set off to the side of the house. Headstones are inscribed with the surnames of the unfortunate. Nowakowski, Padilla, and Marquez. Hello? I was just thinking what a lovely house we have. Do you like it? Have you been here before? Did you happen to see an owl? Sure, it's a nice house. I know. I like the large beams that run across the ceilings. I like to sit in the house and think of the hills and bluffs surrounding us like a cradle. There used to be another house here, but we had it destroyed. And we built this one. It was very expensive and we got quite underwater. What do you do for work? Is it too difficult to do, or do you like it very much? I was once a mathematician. Are you looking for something in particular here? I drive deliveries for a small antique shop. I believe it's hard times for a small antique shop. It's hard times everywhere, even out there on our little farm. My parents stopped paying the bank a while back. I shouldn't even be here, but I just stayed. I have some notebooks. I'm only a little bored. I might prefer to watch TV occasionally. Actually, I have a TV right here that I think that belongs to you. Will you please set it up, that I can explain to you how I know how to get where you're going. The zero. I know. Alright, let's set up the TV. It's like everyone knows that I'm trying to reach the zero. Alright. That's not how it's supposed to look. You made a mistake setting it up. Is it a foreign object to you? Which of your parents was it who wouldn't allow you to watch television? Ma thought she heard ghosts in the static. I know about that. She was ill, wasn't she? Mentally, I mean. Kinda distant, fearful? Fearful, yeah. That's a way to put it. You have it all backwards. I'm not surprised. Are you? Have you been paying attention? I don't think you have. It's time to start paying attention now, Conway. Look closely at the television. Let's look at the television. Well, there's that old house, so... Hey, wake up. You spaced out for a minute there. The picture on the TV. That TV's picking up the wrong signal. My cousin Shannon would know more about it. She fixes TVs for a living. Well, she used to. I think the new models are giving her some trouble. Your cousin? That's my father's brother's daughter, Shannon. We're about the same age. Well, we used to be. She's older now. She has a workshop up north a ways, by the lake, right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. It's a big bait and tackle shop, and she fixes TVs in the back. Do you like fishing? Honestly, I'm not convinced you should bother with the zero. I'd much rather you find my cousin and fix my TV, but I'll get you headed the right way. So it's pretty easy. Get back on 65 heading north, then take the first right after the artificial limb factory. From there, your arrival at the zero is basically inevitable. Nice to know you, Conway. Keep your eyes open, especially in the dark. Such an interesting way of speaking, isn't it? And, she's gone. Hmm. Well, I guess we need to go and get that TV fixed. Quite an interesting way of speaking these people seem to have. Alright, let's get out of here. Get back to the truck. Go, Conway, go! Oh, we got music. The Bedquilt Ramblers. Just met the strangest lady. She seemed pretty nice. Marquez. Wonder where her folks are from. Okay, so while we're listening to this, I want to tell a little story. I am fascinated by the other America, as some people would know it. The other America, as for those of you who do not know, is this notion that there is a sort of forgotten world out there between the highways and the interstates of the great United States. The parts that feel like their own little worlds. You hear stories about people just going to different locations, like going on long road trips and just seeing something that's inexplainable. I mean, sure, you'll get stuff like, oh, your occasional alien sighting. People say, oh, they saw Mothman on another bridge, or stuff like that. No, I'm talking about, like, some of the truly... like, the fascinating mundanity is the word, I think I could describe it as. I have had 2 encounters with the other America myself. The first one was when I was maybe 15 or so years old. I was going on a road trip with my father to go and attend a funeral in Kansas. And we were taking the road from the eastbound road from Colorado to Kansas. And on that, yeah, it's very much a limited space, but on that stretch of road, we came across this old one-room schoolhouse, like old one-room schoolhouse that was just simple wooden walls, very simple, very fine build, but there was this giant tree growing out of the middle of it. I saw this giant tree, like massive. It was going straight through the middle of the building, but the building itself was still standing. I told my dad, hey, Dad, we need to, I want to check that out. He's like, okay, but we can't be long. So we pulled the car over, go over and check out this building, and it's old, like a old, like maybe Civil War era building with a very simple one-room schoolhouse with all these like simple desks all over, an old chalkboard in the back that's long since been dusted over. But the tree was growing right where you would expect the teacher to stand. And that image of seeing this giant tree growing out of a schoolhouse that never collapsed, that image has stuck with me for so many years that I can never stop thinking about it. I'll tell the next story in just a moment. For now, let's get a move on. We gotta go and find the bait and tackle shop. It's time to go. I don't know where, or remember exactly where we found it, but it was something. It was almost beautiful in a haunting sort of way. Okay, so we gotta go back and see Artificial Lynn Factory. where... Okay, that's the Charlie Moran Highway, so we're not in the right spot. That's Dixie, so no. I know, it's a fascinating mental image, and it's stuck with me for years. Okay, there's the factory. A creek runs along the highway and then turns towards a dirty brick building. A grinding drone from within the building is faintly audible from the interstate. Floodlights of the lawn illuminate the smokestacks. At the edge of the building's parking lot, a large sign, partially obscured by trees, reads, Artificial Limbs Factory. Okay, no, not Cub Run. So we gotta go... Raider Hill? No, a little bit further, I think. Wait, what? Let me look at the instructions. It said, Shannon's Workshop. Okay, so go north and then take a... Okay, so go northways by the lake. Take a right where Peonia and Wax Road meet. It's a big bait and tackle shop. She fixes TVs in the back. Okay. So, just gotta keep going north until we hit the lake. Percival Road. Wheeler Hill. Grayson's Beach. Okay, this is a river that's feeding into a canyon? So, Cherry Spring, Gap Hill, Union Light Dog Creek Road. Okay, maybe I can tell another story while we're trying to find this place. This one happened a few years later when I was... Yes, this was when I had graduated from high school. I was on a road trip with my grandfather going all the way to... Oh, we found the bait shop. Never mind. We'll continue on. Conway pulls into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above the road on a thin steel bar, a handwritten sign reads, Live bait. Minnow small and also large for stripers. Night crawlers, chips and beer. A green flyer hangs loosely from a bit of masking tape at eye level. To the shop's right, a dirt parking lot sprawls unevenly into grass, and then eventually, trees. Bait shop is open. Let's see what's on the flyer first. Conway reads the flyer. A computer-printed type in a bold font surrounds a clip art illustration of a TV set. The TV has eyes, arms, and legs. Its shoulders are slouched. On the screen is a cartoon expression of exhausted nausea. A hot water bottle rests against its wire antenna. TV repair. No model too old. Inquire within. We do not sell digital converter boxes. Conway enters the bait shop. Narrow aisles crowded with lures, reels, rods, and stacks divide the shop lengthwise from the entrance to the cashier's counter. The left wall is lined with churning tanks of water. Let's look into the tanks. 3 metal tanks aren't labeled, but the water is too agitated to get a clear view of what's inside each one. The contents of the first tank are vaguely gray. The second is a muddy pink. The third is clear, but shiny silver flecks occasionally flash along the surface. Conway reaches into the first tank. Conway's hand brushes against something roughly the size of his palm. Conway's hand comes into contact with a scaly, uneven surface. As he runs his fingers along the bottom, a bead of sweat bridges the inches of his temples in the water surface. Something bites at his forearm. He recoils. Conway's fingers slip into something fleshy but inert. The sensation is nauseating. Stick my hand inside. Conway reaches deeper into the tank. His elbow presses into the pinkish mass, and he realizes he's about to be sick from the smell and pulls away. The water seems to tremble with life. Conway can't tell if his hand is being nibbled by fish or massaged by the artificial current. As his eyes near the surface of the water, he can see something colorful glowing faintly at the bottom of the tank. A tremor spreads from his elbow out to his fingertips and up to the base of his shoulder. His vision flickers. The water is running warm under his skin now, and he has a sensation that something is about to snap. His eyes close. Why am I doing this? Because why not? You do these kinds of things on the road. He lays on a rooftop. New shingles, rough beneath his back, swelling in the noon sun. He is exhausted. They must have started before dawn. His legs are sore from holiday stable on the uneven surface. From holding stable, pardon me. His wrists from breaking old sealant. His fingers from carefully lifting shingles to hammer down new ones. His boss, Ira, yells at from the idling truck below. He shades his eyes with his hand. Beer will be good. It's barely past noon, but he's worked a full day already. Look at the R&B. Maybe a shot at the counter just to get his eyes open, then a beer. He could offer to drive to town for lunch, then stop at a place on Cumberland. The cashier pushes Conway roughly on the shoulder. He's been talking, yelling maybe, but it's all an echo now. Conway looks up, his neck stiff with pain, his right palm still tingling. Cashier points to the tank, then above it to a few holes in the torn wall. Nail holes from where an electrical sign has become dislodged and fallen into the water. He helps Conway to his feet, looks at him pitifully, and returns to the cash register. Okay, so I think we just had a flashback from sticking our hand in a electrically charged tank. Let's go to the counter. A wiry cashier stands behind the register, preoccupied with a Sudoku puzzle. Let's ask about Shandon Marquez's workshop. A handwritten sign on the door behind the counter reads, TV repairs by appointment, please consult with cashier. Cashier knocks a few times on the door and waits, occasionally glancing at his puzzle. After a few moments with no answers, he notices a smaller note written on the sign. Reads it, then points it out to Conway. Weaver, got your message. Have left for the old mine. Don't know if I will see you there or what. Either way, ready either way. Shannon. The mine. Ask about the basketball game. Cashier switches on the radio. An AM sports broadcast is playing, but Conway can't be sure if it's meant to answer or drown out his questions. Well, looks like we gotta go and find the mine. To the shop's right. Okay. Conway drives away. Well, we gotta figure out where the mine is, so let's head back to Eckes Oil, see if can't find anything. I need a road. Sunfish Bee Spring Road. Oh, there's a church. A singing chorus echoes from within the church. The building is 1 story tall with a pitched roof, and a 3-story spire rising from the front. The top section of the spire is made of stained glass. An interior light illuminates the pines in red, green, and blue. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Light of the Last Great Awakening Baptist Church. The muffled chorus drones at a steady volume, repeating the same 2 verses without the rest. The front doors of the church are modest and worn. They're locked. Okay, let's walk around the rear of the building. A ramp leads up from a few dusty metal trash cans to the church's back door. Conway opens a few of the trash cans and looks in. One has a bit of something leafy and rotten stuck to the bottom of it. The other's full of unlabeled videotapes. Conway pushes the back door open. He finds himself in a kitchen lit by a buzzing fluorescent ceiling fixture. On the counter are a plate of moldy bread and an empty Dixie cup flecked with red around its waxy rim. A set of swinging plastic doors on the far wall lead out of the kitchen. Conway pushes open the plastic doors and walks through. Vacant pews sprawl unevenly into the church. A small raised stage lies to Conway's right, bare except for a tape recorder. The tape recorder's power cord runs into an outlet near Conway's feet. The singing stops. The lights fail. Ooh, that gives you shivers, doesn't it? That's a deeply unpleasant feeling, that's for sure. The feeling that you just walked into something that... Because that's the other feeling of Other America. Because it could be considered liminal, I suppose, but there's definitely a very unusual feeling of just being in a place like that. Act 1, Scene 3. Eckes Oils. I know that there are some stories about places like that in Europe and the like. And oh, hello. Joseph and Stranger. A man with a large pair of antlers slung over his shoulder speaking with Joseph. And that's only a few miles outside of Ogdenville, anyway. I don't think you could do much better for accessibility. They got that new gas station, folks get lost. But maybe they should feel lost, Joseph. It just as lost then as we are always already lost. Just like poor itinerant Silas, wandering the road looking for a home. Well, that's a way to look at it, I guess. I know you call it folklore, but then again, Europe has significantly more age to, America. So our case of the other America feels like it's a sense of weird newness that we have, but it's still old enough to be considered like an abandoned place. Like we've got our ghost towns, and sure, but you'll still get some other unusual locations. Well, hello. I heard that old truck rumble up, asked Homer. Say, maybe you can help this fellow. He's looking for a venue, is how you say it, right? Uh, sure. I have an old friend who runs a bar, and they got a real big stage. No, it can't be indoors. Impossible. But I'm obliged you'd stop a moment to help me work this through. Let me explain my charge. I've dedicated my last 12 years to the design and orchestration of my life's great work. A grand, broadly experimental theatrical adaptation of The Death of the Hired Man by Robert Frost. How do you mean experimental? Well, drama is really my second love. My higher calling is pseudoscience. Yep, pseudoscience. Pseudoscience is the eternally fruitful marriage of whimsy in the process that has yielded to such poetic specimens as astrology, phrenology, canals on Mars, and homeopathic medicine. Wow, the bullshit. I hope to have the time to explain how my pseudoscientific theory poetics find expression in this play, but now I'm in a delirious rush. The event is to be performed tomorrow morning, just before dawn, but in the spirit of tragedy, our venue fell through at the last moment. I've been out all day, driving the highways, looking for a replacement. Eyes fastened on the landscape, like a hawk scouring the field. So, like a hawk, in fact, that I failed to keep an eye on my gas meter. I'm here waiting for the tow truck to bring my car so I can get back to the task. Oh, what kind of venue are you looking for? Somewhere outdoors, somewhere intimate, somewhere tragic. If you have attention to spare in your drive, I'd be grateful. Okay. Well, here you are. Do you know where an old mine is around here? Around here? Guess not. Oh, unless you're thinking of the old Elkhorn mine? That's over northeast of here on Hardyville. But you can't get in there anymore. It's all fenced up. They had an accident. Met your friend Weaver? Huh. Now, you say you met her? She was there? Only for a minute, then she left suddenly. Okay, yeah, guess she had somewhere to be. I wouldn't take it personally. It's good that you met her. I knew the Marquez family years ago, when Weaver was a young girl, and her parents were studying local folk songs. Smart family, man. Well, some of them are smart, the rest are wise, if you know what I mean. But they had some trouble a while back. Just kind of tore them all up. But, everyone hits trouble at some point or another. Well, not everyone, but most of us do. Hey, if you see Weaver Marquez again, tell her I'm sorry about her aunt and uncle. I hope I'll be seeing her soon. Many thanks. Well, here you are. Here I am. Yep. I'm hard at work, as you can see. Now, don't distract me. Ah. Do you like your work? Haven't got a lot of options. Well, who has options these days? Well, I know I went to college. I went to college where I was 12 years. I have an advanced degree in electronic writing. Guess I took the low road in the end. Okay, Joseph, I'm gonna borrow your computer, see if I can find the mine. Oh, never mind, that's messages. Never mind, don't have anything else on the computer. Okay, so let's get back to the road, shall we? After that, very interesting conversation with Carrington and Conway doesn't want to stay any longer. Okay, so said up east to Hodgensville? Oh, yep, the zero ramp. Okay. Get back on 65 heading north and take the first right after the artificial limbs factory, but now we gotta find Shannon. So it was, oh, let's keep moving, so. What are we thinking so far? This is, interesting experience, is it not? Okay, there's the artificial limbs factory. The on-ramp. Oh, there's the on-ramp. Okay. Act 1, Scene 5. Elkhorn Valley. Huh. Conway brushing some of the dirt off of Homer's hat. How's it going, Homer? Huh. Not sure that lady was right about the on-ramp to zero being here. Better look around, though. Must be down here somewhere. Better hurry, though. Weather's about to turn. Oh, found something. There's an atmosphere to this place. Act 1, Scene 5. The Elkhorn Mine. Okay, yep, found the mine, so we were going the right direction anyway. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Yeah, it's kind of an emergency. That's true. Yes, I appreciate that, but... Okay. Talk to you tomorrow. Love you. Shannon hangs up the phone and puts it away. Yep, there's Conway. No work tomorrow. Oh, now we're playing as Shannon. Okay. Excuse me, ma'am. I saw the light was on. I'm looking for the on-ramp to... Do you believe in ghosts? Well, let's see. I do believe that a place can be haunted, if that's what you mean. What about a person? Can a person be haunted? A strange person walks up to you. First thing you say, "Do you believe in ghosts?" Well, I guess a person could. Sometimes I feel haunted myself. What haunts you? Bad decisions, I guess. Wasted youth. Well, look. Here's what it is. I drive deliveries for a shop called Lassett's Antiques, and I'm out trying to finish a job. What kind of stuff are you hauling? Antiques. Good stuff. Lassette has a sharp eye for the little good it's done her lately. You know, it's just one recession after another. Everybody's selling their old stuff cheap, but nobody's really buying. I have a delivery for a 5 Dogwood Drive, and I can't remember ever seeing that address before. Now, I heard I need to take a highway called the Zero. I met this young lady name of Weaver Marquez, and she sent me this way. So here I am. A common kind of place for an on-ramp, but that's what's been like so far anyway. With what? Weaver Marquez. Do you know her? So you saw her tonight. I know Weaver. She's my cousin. I'm Shannon Marquez. Oh, we got another bot. One moment. Let me just feed it to the paper shredder. There we go. No need to worry about that. So, oh, you're the one who fixes televisions. That's right. Did she tell you that, too? Of course she did. Weaver doesn't lie. One time, when we were younger, she told me my dad had been in a terrible car wreck. There was crushed metal everywhere. We've been hearing it echo through the house for the years, she said. I was very upset, crying, and then my dad walked in the door. Just came back from a trip to the junkyard collecting scrap metal to fashion into wind chimes. I was angry, but she said it wasn't a joke, and it wasn't a lie. At the time, I thought she meant it as a riddle or a puzzle. But Weaver's not a puzzle. She's a mystery. So maybe the zero is down here somewhere? Maybe it is. Well, I don't mind the company. I've got business down here myself. I talked to Weaver earlier this evening, too. Or, anyway, she talked to me. It's hard to tell if she's listening sometimes. Weaver told me that I had to come down here to the old Elkhorn mine. She said I'd find something I've been looking for. What are you looking for? Not exactly sure. I have a few ideas. I'll know it when I see it. It's not such a bad thing, you showing up now. All told, I'd rather not go down there alone. Your dog should stay up here, though. It's no place for a dog. This is an old mine. Runs pretty deep and tangled. If we're going to go down into it, find your on-ramp and whatever else, we've got to keep our bearings. I don't want to get turned around. I've got some gear here to measure conductivity, frequency response, stuff like that. Maybe we can find a way to put a signal out ahead, do some analysis and figure out what kind of topology we're up against. Topology? Okay. Topology. That's a science of continuous space, my friend. The way this twisty maze of passages fits together. We're good. Well, as a child, I have longed for the mines, I guess. No work tomorrow. I'm not going alone, that's for sure. It's a PA system. Hello? Ah, there we go. That runs to the mine's PA system. Do you think it still works? Only one way to find out. Alright, give it a whirl. Is anybody down there? Nothing. Oh, there's no power. Yeah, okay. Even when this old mine was up and running, it was tricky to keep this stuff powered. You know, the miners used to have to pay just to run the fans and lights. Yeah, they got paid in these shitty plastic tokens called coal script, you know? If you wanted to run the fans for a bit to clear the air up, well, you have to put a token in. Ah, yes. Company town tactics. My parents used to work here. So did Weaver's parents. Guess a lot of folks' parents worked here. Can we power it up? I bet we just have to free up some of the power from the PA system. Everything is rationed. Here, set up that lamp of yours. I'll go unplug the ceiling lights. Conway tries to think of something clever to say. I heard some of the speakers back here crackle a bit. It's on now. Try saying something into the mouthpiece. Well. Okay, I hear you. We just need to measure the echo delay time and figure out how deep the tunnels run. Just make some noises into the mouthpiece. Conway clears his throat. Let's hum a deep tone into the mouthpiece. It's a whistle. Damn, that's a long delay. These tunnels run deep. Bet some of them have ruptured or joined up with a cave system. Get some notices. Okay. Alright, I set up my spectrum analyzer. So just say something into the mouthpiece and we can get a sense of how narrow the mine tunnels are. Don't be shy, just say anything that comes to your head. Tell me a story about something, or what did you have for breakfast today? Well, here's a story. Yeah, I used to do work. I used to work doing roof repair. We even fixed up a church roof once. Should have taken us an hour to get there. But then thunderstorm hit and it was too late anyhow. Got it. Looks like the tunnels are pretty cramped. Yeah, low ceilings. Hope you're ready to stoop a bit. Nah, you're probably used to it. One more test. We just need to know if the air is breathable or if it's too thin or too dense. Just sit real close to the mouthpiece and breathe. I'll measure the resonance of your breath with the air in the tunnels. Just try to relax and breathe naturally. Let's breathe and think about the road. Breathing and remember a moment earlier in the day. Getting some strong readings here. I think we're in good shape, but keep at it for a minute. Finish off a cold drink. Conway breathes and relaxes as a peal of feedback and loose rock engulfs him. Damn. The mines take what they call their own. Act 1, Scene 6. Elkhorn Mine. Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? I'm okay. I've got you. You're alright. Shit, your leg is pinned. I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Okay, are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that leg? That's fine. Just try to stand up. Careful. I'm right here. Damn, don't worry. I've got you. That leg is in bad shape. Here, let's get you on the tram. There you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Well, okay, there's some luck, right? Should be able to ride this tram right onto one of the auxiliary exits. If there are any. I think there are. Well, what about Weaver? We'll just find the exit and then figure out what to do from there. That's our first priority. So, the controls are over on your side. Let's get moving. Alright. Darkness. Alright, moving along. Tell me if you see anything down in this collapsed mine. A turntable. Oh, here we are. This may be hard to believe, but it's hard for me to believe myself. This whole branch was underwater last I heard. Is it safe? I guess so. Looks like they finally drained it. Or maybe it just drained off on its own. The water came in pretty fast, and a lot of folks got trapped in the tunnels. I only heard parts of how it went from there. Sanitized for the bereaved. You know how these big companies are. But there was gossip, too. The trapped miners couldn't get the pumps going because the power was rationed, so they shut all the lights off. But even then it wasn't enough. Guess it was when they were in the dark. They lost people down here, didn't you? We all lost people down here. Well, not all of us, but most of us. Doesn't matter now. Look, this old turntable is still wired up. The controls are dead, but I can use my signal generator to switch tracks. If the water hasn't damaged it too much, or we can just keep heading down this tunnel. All this junk hanging up around the turntable is from the company store. Just junk, you know? The miners would buy it and use it to decorate the place. Or landmarks, I guess. Hard to know which way is which down here. It's also dim and gray. Shannon connects two clip leads from her signal generator to the turntable's electric panel. We're on the track between the animal bones and the rowboat, so the pendulum and the casket, the bat feeder, and the scarecrow. Alright, let's try the pendulum and the casket. Let's try heading backwards, see if we find anything down here. A stage. Damn, it's almost totally intact. I thought it would have been destroyed. What is this place? It's a recording studio, basically, kind of thrown together, but when this mine was active, a couple of folk music archivists spent time here recording miner songs. Really academic, ivory tower types. None of the miners really talked to them much. So they stayed at the margins, observed, took notes, and then sometimes they get someone on lunch break to sing to their microphone. And I guess the power company got in some kind of interest in the project and gave archivists some coal script tokens to pay the miners for their songs. Did you ever come down here? Yeah, I came here with my parents once or twice. They used to play music here, even when those archivists weren't around. It was a nice setup. Kind of rickety, kind of dangerous, I guess, but I don't know. It had a good energy. It was warm sometimes. Alright, let's try the other end. If I see any bats out here, I'm gonna scream. Ah, tape player. A dusty reel tape player is stashed beneath the track, loaded with tape, but starved for power. I'm curious. What if I shut the light off? Oh! Oh! Well, that was horrifying. Oh, I didn't know those were still down here. What was that? Look, there's a tape player down there. One of those old reel-to-reel setups. They record on that old scaffolding we saw, and I guess then they sequestered themselves down here to listen to recorded songs. Did your parents sing? Oh, yeah. They sang. They sang in the mine for coal script tokens. Okay, let's go back and turn the light off at the stage. I'm curious to see if we're going to get other reactions, because what the ever-loving hell was that? You hear anything? See anything? Nope. Oh, I've got a stage. Maintenance record, tram 5. Okay, so there are a bunch of different paths that we can take. I kind of wish you could have seen my face reacting. That was horrifying. Oh, wait, too far. Okay. We're on the track between the pendulum and the casket, so let's do the bat feeder and the scarecrow. Okay, let's try left. Up. Dead end. Did you hear that? Kind of muscle rumbling. Maybe we're near water? Could be. There was an underground lake around here years ago. Guess that's why they stopped digging so abruptly here. You hear anything? Nope. Okay, let's try... broken track. Tracks are all messed up here. This tram tunnel isn't going any further. Wonder what's down that tunnel. Nope. I'm worried one of these moments I'm going to turn the lights off and then back on again, and then I'm going to see just Weaver, like, sitting in the truck, because we're all very certain that Weaver's a ghost girl, right? Alright, let's go back to the animal bones in the rowboat. Okay, so, yeah, we still haven't gone this way. Oh, finally found the exit. Oh, thank God, okay. Let's go. Yeah, okay, that tunnel where the tracks were broken, I'd like to take a look down there. Ah, do whatever you need, I'll just wait for you here. Thanks, I'll be right back. Oh boy! Left alone in the dark mines! Oh look, a birdcage. Paper tag hangs from the birdcage by a string. Canary, 25 tokens. Canaries sold at the company store? They also sell respirators? No bones in the cage. The bird must have been set free. Or maybe the cage was cleaned. There are cardinals at the Louisville Zoo. And other birds? Ostriches, eagles, emus. No canaries. Too common? Too small, maybe? But they have starlings. Starlings aren't that much bigger than canaries. Let me take a look at my field notes, see if we got anything of note. Yep, so it's the Elkhorn mines. Okay. Oh, there's some notebooks here. The notebook at the top of this dusty stack is labeled in the back in black marker. The label is dusty and smudged, but it looks like it might say horses? Houses, maybe? Or verses, even. Crude and hurried handwriting, too. Like I said, it has immaculate handwriting. Pristine and measured, cursive, never a stray mark. For the last several months, she filled out the receipts for each order. Since that young couple complained about the handwriting on the order strip. It's carbon paper anyway. It's bound to wear away over time. If they're so precise about their records, they should put it on the computer anyway. Ugh. Yeah, not leaving yet. Fuck it, might as well get out. Oh! We're on the other end. There's Homer. Hi, Homer. Homer in my truck. Let's look at that shack out of sheer curiosity. The cramped shack is lined with wooden shelves. Dusty stacks of tape reels and notebooks crowd the room. But a bit of moonlight filters through a window near the ceiling. On a small desk is in the middle of the room lay 3 notebooks. The red one is labeled J. Marquez, and the green one is labeled R. Marquez, and the blue one is unlabeled. Conway opens the red notebook. The pages are covered in disorganized notes, some written horizontally and others scribbled vertically into margins. A few pages are lined more evenly and divided up into charts correlating with seasons, lyrics, harmonies, and coal halls. Let's see what's in the green notebook. On each page is a delicately rendered charcoal drawing. Most are portraits of rugged faces. Near the middle of the book, there are a few drawings of a young girl in a miner's helmet. She plays along the minecart tracks, collecting pieces of wire. In one drawing, another girl sits nearby, intently studying a book. Conway opens the blue notebook. The notebook is full of Greek letters and cryptical mathematical formulas. Near the back of the book, what first looks like it might be. Oh, yeah, this place. These notebooks are labeled Marquez. Your parents are the archivists? No, Weaver's parents are the archivists. My parents were miners. How's the leg? I can walk on it, but it's slow. Well, I'll try not to get too far ahead of you. You don't mind my hitching a ride, do you? I kinda got a lift out of here and wasn't sure if, when I'd be heading back. I can drive. Yeah, maybe that's best. Don't worry, I've been driving since I was 9. Still need to find the zero. Well, it's like I told you, Weaver doesn't lie. If she sent you here to find your on-ramp, this is where you should be looking. Or maybe you just weren't listening closely enough, and that's not exactly what she said. I saw Weaver at my workshop. That's up north by Lake Nolan, right at Wax and Peonia, in the back of the bait shop. Very glamorous, right? These are the times we live in. She's either up there or back at the farmhouse. Whichever you want to head to first, just let me know. Alright, I guess we're going back to the bait shop. Alright, see you when you return, Jag. Lysette's Antiques. Guess it's your truck? Surprised? It's kind of old. No, I'm not surprised. I guess it's an antique, too. I think it suits you. Hi, Homer. As Homer, this is Shannon. Nice to meet you, Homer. Got some dried banana slices in my bag. Would you like one? Take care of your friend here, and there's more where that came from. Conway moves on. Alright, let's head to the bait shop then. Raider Hill Road. Riceville Road. I do want to just drive around and see if there's anything weird I can come across that might be of interest. Hammondsville Road. Frenchman Knob Road. Get the interstate's not going to be where I'm going. Priceville Road. Wheeler Mill Road. Grayson Spring Roads, Wax Road. Oh, there's the bait shop. Right. Conway and Shannon pull into the bait shop parking lot. Vaulted above, the blah, 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 green flyer, dirt parking lot. Bait shop is closed. Enter the side door to Shannon's workshop. Conway and Shannon walk around the side of the building into the workshop. The walls are lined with cheap metal shelves loaded precariously with vacuum tubes, awkwardly shaped metal casings, and coffee cans full of electronic components. Shannon leads Conway to the back of the room, where a few TV sets in various states of disassembly are set up in a rough wooden table. She flips the switch on the power strip they're all plugged into, and the TV set trembles to life. Conway asks Shannon about where she saw Weaver. Shannon points to a small security monitor on the table. The image of the screen is just black, but seems to be fading slowly, almost imperceptibly between shades of black. Shannon tweaks a few knobs on the side of the monitor, but the picture doesn't change. Conway stares directly at the security monitor. The screen is a cavernous black. It hums and swells at the pace of the tide. Conway loses track of the workshop's walls. They could be inches away or miles. He is adrift on black water, traveling swiftly towards a rocky shore. There should be a lighthouse or a buoy by these rocks. It's too dangerous. Shannon switches off the power strip. Weaver is not here. Well, that's unfortunate. Looks like we gotta head back to the Marquez house. Airplane? Huh. Two shirtless men push a light aircraft along the highway. Occasionally, one or the other slips a bit on the sweating asphalt, or stops to pull back his hair. The rubber is almost worn away. Soon, these men will be dragging this airplane. The men are nearly broken. There are so many questions here. Just look at them go. Just moseying along. Alright, let's get back to the road. Conway has places to go. This is the stuff that you come to watch me for, watching two shirtless men push a airplane down the highway. There's Sunfish Road. Morgantown Road. Brownsville Road, Mammoth Cave Road. Oh, museum. A sign in front of the building just reads, Museum. The lights are off, but the front door is open. Conway steps to the museum's doors. A few feet inside the museum's doors, the ambient sound of the highway drops sharply away. The room is cold, dark, and still. A book lies open on a table in the center of the room. An open hallway extends to the left. Large glass doors bar the path ahead. Let's look at the book. Conway looks at the book. There's no title on the book's spine or cover. A three-word phrase written in pencil on the first page is smudged and indecipherable. On the first page, someone has left an ink drawing of a horse. Several dozen blank pages later, at the end of the book, is an elaborate ink drawing of a one-legged man working an antique adding machine, surrounded by whiskey bottles. Let's walk to the hallway. Conway walks down the hallway to the left. Conway's steps echo against the hallway's marble floor and arched ceilings. Plexiglass boxes line the walls. The hallway dead ends on a darkened display case. Look at box. Conway examines the boxes on the walls. The first box, just a few feet into the hall, contains an assortment of bird wings. Some are missing feathers. One large, brightly colored wing almost glows in the moonlight. Its feathers are intact, but a piece of bone pokes awkwardly out from the tip. Conway examines the darkened display case. The display case is several yards wide, but just a few feet off the ground. It's unlit, and back in this corner of the darkened museum, very little moonlight creeps in. A gold-plated plaque on the surface of the case is a bit easier to read. It recounts a short history of fowl hunting in the region, and then speculates abruptly about the nature of addiction. Let's go back to the entrance. Let's walk through the glass doors. Conway walks to the glass doors. The glass doors won't budge. To apply force, any more force would likely break them. Conway applies more force to the doors. The glass shatters. Somewhere ahead, a light switches on. After a moment, it switches off. The room is dark again, and the floor is covered in broken glass. Broken glass grinds under Conway's boots as he walks down the hall. He's a feeling of being in a larger space. Very little light reaches the far end of the hallway. Conway runs his hands along the walls. The walls are completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. Feel the floor. Conway kneels and runs his hands along the floor. The floor is completely smooth and strangely warm. Conway can feel his breath and sweat condensing on the surface. Let's get back to the entrance. I'm curious, let's see if the book's changed. Nope, there's nothing. Okay. Well, a little vandalism doesn't really hurt anybody. Let's get out of here. The Marquez farmhouse. Act 1, Scene 7. Marquez farmhouse. Alright, let's get moseying along on my busted leg. Yeah, I hope Conway doesn't lose his leg from the horrible vision that was provided by that museum book. Oh, I need help. Thank you, Shannon. The graveyard. Again. There's nobody buried here, you know? It's decorative, I guess. Or it's art or something? I don't know. One of the names in the headstones. Nowakoski and Padilla. I don't know those names. Maybe the people who lived here before? I know when they bought this property, it already had a house and everything. Maybe they had some other symbolic meaning? Oh, and look at the headstone. Marquez. I used to think that was for my parents. Now I don't know. Alright, let's get to the house. Conway's got some really gangly legs, don't he? Talk to Shannon. So, this is where she was? Yeah, makes sense. This is where Weaver and her parents lived. They took out a bunch of loans, you know, and had this place built. Do you have any debts? I do owe some people some apologies. Well, you're lucky that's all you owe. My parents were like that, until the company's store found a way to get to them. For my dad, it was tokens to run the fans and air purifiers, and for my mom, it was canaries. Two solutions to the same problem, but they sure sounded different. Weaver had debt, too. Lots of it. All tuition. She said she was a mathematician or something? Yeah. She studied some esoteric stuff about something about using math to translate between Spanish and English. I think eventually Weaver put those math skills to work on all the red numbers in the family checkbook and got a clear sense of just how hopeless the situation was. So, she left. Yeah, she just drove away in the middle of the night. They woke up in the morning and the car was gone. Never came back. Until tonight. She seemed really focused on that old TV. Oh, that's not something you see every day. That old TV right there, that's a damned antique for you. I had a model like that in the shop once, but I had to sell it off to make rent. It's the most painful decision I ever made. Say, you mind if I open it up? Looks like the dials are all corroded. The screen is leaking a bit, light a bit. Come on. I bet Lissette would never forgive you for letting a special like that fall into disrepair. Alright, let's tune the TV. Please do not adjust your dial. Oh yeah, these tubes are all messed up. Looks like they've been in a swamp or a cave or something. There's moss growing on this one. That's okay, I have a few spares in my bag here. Here, I just pulled this one out of an old computer monitor. Just needs to be recalibrated a bit. Okay, that oughta... Should be seeing something now. Now you seeing anything? Hey, that looks dangerous what you're doing there. Damn. Okay, here, I think the contacts are dirty. Now, don't go telling my customers I had to clean off old vacuum tubes with spit. There, just gotta turn it north, south, and... Whoa. There it is. Kentucky Route Zero. We found it. And the road trip is only just beginning. End of Act 1. Well, that was Act 1. What a start to the game, that's for sure. Now we've got a bit of an intermission. Limits and demonstrations. Limits and demonstrations. Alright. Wall text. Limits and demonstrations. A Lula Chamberlain retrospective. Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years, this retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain compromises a diagonal slice through time, space, and form. The pieces on display were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed by Chamberlain's various homes and studios in her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range of scale and impact from the intimate warmth of the Vertex texture fetch to the infamous Visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they described the outer limits of Chamberlain's range and an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display are also trace the extremes of our capabilities on the front and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want them to be? Oh boy! Weird roadside museums, my favorite. Let's take a look. The first one. Title card. Spinning coin. Suspended. Correcting for angular motion. 1976. Found materials. What a lonely image. The image on the screen of the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing, the microfilm reader, that flickering coin. It's kind of anxious, right? I feel like we startled it. Now there's this uncomfortable pause. I feel really drawn to it, but it just makes me nervous. Vertex texture fetch, tree, television, and suspended cathode ray tube. 1968. Found materials. The picture on the TV. What is that? It's a lighthouse? No, it's a weather vane or a windmill or something. Is it a lighthouse? Whoa. Look at that. Visage. 1984. Unknown media. What is that made of? It's a mystery. Looks like ribbons, bandages. Have you seen The Invisible Man? It's slice a visage to build a visage. A puzzle to its owner. What? It's a poem I read. I think it's written by a computer. Sounds like it. God, look at that. It's okay, it looks like it's a bunch of monitoring stations surrounding a tape deck? Huh. Overdubbed um, Namjoon Paik installation in the style of Edward Packard. 1965, 1973, and 1980. Magnetic tape, held tape playback head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, I've read about this one. It's interactive. Well, how does it work? It's a bunch of old tape, and you run this tape playback head along it. Just listen to the recordings, I guess. Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I am in an office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. The door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punch cards on the floor. A synthetic voice recording, spliced awkwardly into the tape, lists out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Encoded in the holes punched through the cards is a first draft of the poetic subsystem. Can't read punch cards by sight. Donald can, I think. Anyway, this version was pretty underwhelming. To leave the room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. So loud, I love it. I am now holding 2 punch cards. One of them, Joseph has scribbled a note that says Caves. The other is blank. To insert Caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. Start with the Caves card. We're on the dirt trail in the park, or well, it's not really a trail. It's a trail! It's more likely a tendency. There tends to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking. Now we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rock as the ground sinks into the darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I. To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. The final resting place. Don't be so morbid. To remember a fond gesture, Rotate 180 degrees, and then advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. It's late morning now. I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow. Then who knows? I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here's the story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years. I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in that whole time. They each thought I had done it to spite them. Maybe I had in parts, but I don't think they ever appreciated the community I had in Mexico or... Anyway. When I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me. So I'm almost out of tape. Guess I'll just run it out while I eat. No instructions? No, that's the end of this tape strip. I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip all the way over there? I won't tell a soul. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Think of our work, our research. You'll die in these damn cold caves. What about those men? You know they'll come back. We'll go deeper. That's all. They'll never find us. Did you hear their voices? They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop. Your stupid fighting is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right. We can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking my station wagon. I'm heading down to zero. You'll be lost forever. But we need your voice for the machine. Lula only recognizes your voice. I'll send this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail. Now you can see what your damn machine does with it. Oh. Huh. Well, that was something, to be sure. And next we have a man and a horse. Basement Puzzle number 2. Artist, Sunset, and Horse. 1976. Plaster and wire. You read the cover of these books? Yeah, it's kind of hard to. Wish we could get a little closer. I don't think they're real books. No, they're real. Look, that one says... no, you're right. They're just scratched up cardboard. Maybe it's a puzzle. There's no right answer. It's kind of sad. Alright, that's the end of this museum trip, I guess. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. Yeah, this show is exhausting. Interesting intermission, to say the least. Alright, let's get started with Act 2. Oh, hello. Attention, Lula Chamberlain. RE, your application. Thank you for your application to the Gaston Trust for the Imagined Architecture's annual fellowship. We received a number of applications this year, over 100 in total, and regrettably we can only award one fellowship position per year. As you know, our review process includes a multi-phase blind committee analysis of portfolio submissions, as well as a careful review of a panel of subject matter experts on each applicant's notability and relevance in the field. We must be extremely selective in our process as to maintain the standards we have established over 35 years in operation. Our panel did not select your application. We encourage you to consider reapplying next year. Many young artists and architects reapply for a few successive years before being accepted. Oh, ain't that a familiar feeling? Ugh. Just stretched for a moment. Sincerely, Dr. Carl Stone Norden, Architect, Gaston Trust for Imagined Architecture. Below the print text is a hastily handwritten note. Sorry for the condescending form letter. Love your work. Unfortunately, I just do the mail here. Your observant servant, Robert. Let's just fold the letter up and put it in my handbag. Alright. Lula opens a folder on her desk labeled Proposals. Lula sorts through documents, all printed in a faded letterhead reading Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Proposal number 1. Site, hospital. Proposed use, auto dealership. That is a very hilarious statement. Site number 2. A distillery. Proposed use, graveyard. Site number 3. Basketball court. Proposed use, kennel. So what proposal 1 is. Hospital closed due to repeated sanitation violations. Auto dealership sanitation requirement comparatively lax. Small operating rooms could be repurposed into offices. Large cubicle-style administrative offices could be repurposed into showrooms. Why not? Site number 2 and site number 3. Okay. Site number 2. Distillery still active, but scaling down operation to less than half its size. Distillery built on top of graveyard originally. Hybrid distillery graveyard could share resources. Chapel once repurposed into bottling facility could be repurposed into a chapel. Sure, why not? Stamp. Oh, hey, it's you again. Carrington. Carrington clears his throat. It's not important. Busy? It's not important. I doubt that. You do important work here now. Maybe it's not sublime art, but it's... Do you know the famous dramatist who visited Mexico and said, "Here there is no art, things are made for a use"? You've been to Mexico. You've seen the murals. You know all about that. So my own thoughts are wandering, clearly. I've got a lot on my mind, clearly. Well, I'll come to it straight to it then. The clerk upstairs told me you've been assigned to my proposal. I've heard nothing in weeks, and I assumed it had been swallowed up by some dragon of administration, but... I've received your proposal, but I'm afraid it's impossible. Of course. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Lula. I'll go now. Oh, Lula, I thought you might like to know. I saw Joseph this evening after sunset. We sat for a bit, drank some cold coffee, talked about the university days. Better days. Maybe for him. Wait, that was the same Joseph on the tape. Huh. Okay. Act 2. Scene 1. Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Beep. That's a hell of a barrier, that's for sure. Get a good rest of the truck? Yeah, I know Yellow Drive. I do too. Wind in your ears? Yeah, I saw you back there, Homer. Didn't we just pass by this place? I don't think the Zero operates like the roads we're used to. I don't understand it either. So what is this place? Looks like an office building. Yeah, an office building in a cathedral. This is weird, but do you think we're inside or outside right now? I think both. Ha, okay, very poetic. Well, maybe someone around here has a better sense of direction. End the line? Seems that way. Not for us, I hope. Is someone fishing over there? It looks like it's fishing here. Well, I'm near an underground river, so that's at least cool. Getting stuck on the geometry of this place. It's a hell of an end of the road sign, that's for sure. Bell. Ding. Hello? Anybody there? Oh, yes. Well, here you are. Better late than never, I guess. Just unload the whiskey over there by the elevator. I'll figure something out. We're actually a bit lost, man. You're lost. So you're not the... Sorry, honest mistake. We're supposed to have a little celebration here at the office, but the whiskey never showed up. Saw your truck and thought, oh, but you don't really look like one of the boys to be from the distillery anyway. What are you celebrating? Oh, the less I understand, the better. When I'm here, I keep the fans turning and the furnace hot, and I listen for the bell. When I get home, I'm a different person. I don't have to think about it. I just paint. Well, it's clear you're new to this territory. I expect you mean to be passing through? We're looking for Dogwood Drive. Do you know where that is? Dogwood. Nope. You're going to need to talk to someone upstairs about that, one of the map clerks. But first, we got to get you into the system, so you'll need an appointment with one of the ingestion clerks. Now, let's see. Rick is booked proofreading drafts all afternoon, and Wanda's on a site. Let me give some calls and see if we have anyone free. There are some books over there in the waiting area, or just take a look around. Have you seen our grotesques? Your what? Are those TVs on the wall? Television is playing a cartoon about a bird. The cartoon bird collects pieces for its nest, a scarf, a plastic shopping bag, a bit of a young girl's hair. The nest is warm, but precariously fragile. That television is playing what looks to be a nature documentary. A hermit crab scuttles across a beach, shell in an awkward shape. Must belong to a different crab. Marianne. Oh good, I thought you'd left. People can be so impatient, you never know. Well, I have you meeting with Lula Chamberlain. She's a senior clerk and doesn't usually handle the ingestion process, but she's the only one with the room on her plate this evening. My schedule said she's on the 5th floor reviewing some diagrams. The elevator is just back to the left here, 5th floor. Alright, much obliged. Oh, this is the waiting room area. Okay. 3 books are piled on the table. A service manual for a sewage pump, some architectural plans for a bungalow, and a slim collection of Japanese death haiku. An envelope is protruding from the bottom of the stack. The envelope reads Bureau of Secret Tourism. It contains several small handwritten brochures with ritualistic directions to bizarre locations. Okay. Am I going to play the elevator game? Alright, let's head up. She's on the 5th floor, right? Okay. You know what? Let's go to... Bears! Let's start one at a time. Start with the 1st floor. The clerk's offices. Hello? Are you lost? Very much so, yes. Okay, well, let's keep pointing in the right direction then. It's a pretty straightforward process. First, you'll need to get a case number assigned. Talk to Clerk Metstein about that. She sits over there at the end of the room. Happy to help. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. I just need your ingestion card and a list of your last 5 permanent addresses. Ingestion card? Oh, no ingestion card? Okay, that's okay. Just go talk to Clerk Baum first and he'll get you set up with one. Clerk Baum is just over there in the corner. Happy to help. Okay. Bureaucracy, let's go. Howdy, here for an ingestion card? No problem. You rummages through some papers on the desk. Happy to help. He opens a few folders and quickly closes them. Looks like I'm out, but I know there's some back in the archive. You'll have to put in a special request with Clerk Max at Macmillan. She's the document czar. Straight to the back end of the office there by the file cabinets. Okay. Well, we're gonna be doing this then. Lovely. Documents requested? One ingestion card, please. Happy to help. Just put in your requisition form in the inbox and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Requisition form? Yes, you don't have one? Shouldn't be a problem. They're quite easy to fill out. Just ask Clerk Melton and she'll get you sorted. Here we go again! Requisition form. No problem. I just need your ingestion card and mark it outgoing my logbook. We don't have an ingestion card yet. Oh, no ingestion card. That's okay. Just talk to... we've gone in a fucking circle. God damn it. Howdy there. For an ingestion card, yeah, happy to help. Blah, blah, blah. That's just a runaround. Where's Lula Chamberlain? Oh, no, it's... I mean, that's her right there in the cardigan. Having fun in the paperclip labyrinth? Well, you made it eventually. You look exhausted. I'd offer you my seat, but my ankles are turning on me. Arthritis? Dr. Truman says my joints are eroding one another. They've been collaborating for decades. It's only natural they'll want to kill each other now. Well, enough about my hateful wrists and ankles. Mood. This concrete bunker of an office is just a waypoint for you, I'm sure. Where is it you're trying to go? We're looking for 5 Dogwood Drive. Dogwood Drive. That's funny. Do you know I used to live on a Dogwood Drive? That was years ago. Grimy old house. Basement full of insects, attic full of birds. I had a few roommates. I worked at the university. I had a dog. Drank whiskey and beer, made sculptures. But that Dogwood was a surface road. With a name like that, it would have to be. What are you doing on the Zero? Gas station attendant told us we need to take the Zero to get there. Gas station attendant? I see. A friendly man about my age hangs out with an old cat, likes to pretend he's a poet. His name was Joseph, you know him? Joseph and I used to work together, and we lived together. We were friends. But that was a long time ago. We haven't spoken in years. Do you know why he's pointing you this way? It's because he's still in love with me, of course. Now he's implicated you quite inconsiderately, and in your condition, it's appalling. So I'm very sorry for wasting your time, but I'm afraid you've been misled. Excuse me. But where's the Dogwood Drive you lived on? Maybe it's the same one? No, that's not possible. The Dogwood Drive I lived on is now called Pale Dogwood Drive. They've renamed all the streets, you see. Too many streets with the same names. It was never a problem before, but now we have these databases, and it's all too confusing for the computer. Computer has no sense of ambiguity, so it proclaims an error. Name collisions, they call them. So my Dogwood Drive is Pale Dogwood Drive, and another might be Large Leaf Dogwood Drive, or Himalayan Flowering Dogwood Drive, and so on. But one of them is still just Dogwood Drive, or so we might hope. It's really a matter of consulting records, of which we have an abundance here. Do you have a record of those streets? I expect we must. They'll be up in Archives of Records, 4th floor. It'll be filed under O for odonyms, or probably, or G for generic, or maybe S for specific, depending on which part of the street name was changed. Great! Great! Let's head up to the next floor. Okay, so we are on... So, Archives Records on the 1st floor. Let's head to the 2nd floor, conference room. See what's in here. What's going on here? Okay, it feels like I stumbled onto a meeting. I should probably get out. Let's go to the 3rd floor. Bears! Just an office room full of bears. Howdy. Uh, they are all watching me. Howdy. Is that a pipe organ? The bears are watching me. Help. Just the slow, silent staring of the bears. Thank you, I'm sorry for disturbing you. Let's head to the fourth floor then. Archives and records. Excuse me. Oh, we're gonna be here a while, aren't we? Time to look at the documents. Damn, this place is a mess. Okay. Take a look through that logbook, I guess. Maybe there's some kind of system to all these boxes. I'll just start digging. The small logbook has a smart letter cover. The few notes are scribbled inside covers. Most pages are just lists full of titles, names, and dates. Let's check the inside cover. Document staff. Please do not transfer any more records from the storage until we get the new file cabinets in. We're up to F, and we have to do that for now. Instruct clerks to focus on activities beginning with the letters A, B, C, D, or E, or F, or activities most likely to involve research on subjects beginning with those letters. For example, cars is okay because it involves automotive, driving, brakes, etc. But air quality is not okay because it relates to health, safety, pollution, etc. Page 1, several documents relating to sporting competition venues were quickly checked out and back over a period of a few days. Basketball courts, baseball fields, alleys, and parking lots. Page 14. A single set of documents relating to coal mining operations was checked out back by several different people within a few hours. Failing antique shop folder missing, listed checked in on page 63, but not present. Checked in, failing antique shops, Monday, 3 p.m., signee Ed Bohm. Oh, it's the, that guy inside the back cover. Okay, so, guess we can talk to Ed about that. Nothing? Me neither. Half these boxes aren't even labeled. The rest are all from the first few letters of the alphabet. Couldn't find anything with an O or a G or an S. Maybe that clerk knows somewhere else we can look. I'm curious. We'll have to talk to Ed, to Clerk Bohm, but first I want to see what's on this guy on the 5th floor. Do diagrams and drafts. We... Can we fix that, please? Ooh, Symphony number 3. Good music. Greg is hard at work examining some diagrams, measuring angles with a plastic protractor, and occasionally scribbling small numbers in a small leather notebook. Can I help you? Don't answer that. I'm extremely busy with these charts. Maybe one of the clerks on the 1st floor can help you. They're probably just looking at cat pictures. Alright, let's head back downstairs. Alright, back down to the 1st floor. To the clerk's offices. The bears. Hey, Lula, what the hell are you trying to pull? Nothing? That's unfortunate. Well, he still must be in transit. You see, we've only just moved into this new venue somewhat recently, and it's all a bit in progress. This was a cathedral not long ago, can you believe it? Then the Bureau reclaimed it. The old congregation has been directed to one of our storage facilities for their activity. That's where you'll find the street name records, I expect, at the church. Marianne at reception can give you directions. Just come back here when you have the files, and we'll begin the necessary paperwork to have the information analyzed. Oh, and while you're on the road, you might want to stop and see Dr. Truman about your leg. He's a specialist regarding ailments of the joints and limbs, and I know he works at nights. His home office is a small green neighborhood on the east of Green. Here's his card. Do stop to see him. That leg is a miserable sight. Take care of each other. Okay. Yes, we're getting back on the road, but first we gotta go and talk to Marianne at the reception desk. Alright, to the lobby. Alright. Shuffling along. Just realized we left the car engine running. That cannot be good for the battery. Hello, Marianne? Get what you need? Lula said you could direct us to the church? Oh, sure. The old storage lot. Just get back on the Zero and drive until you hit the Crystal, then turn around. It'll make sense once you get on the road. You can handle it. Drive until I hit the Zero? Until I hit the Crystal? Okay, well... how weird is it? Should I... welcome back, Jack. You want to know how weird it is? There was an office building filled with bears. They're just there. Alright, now we are on the... we're on the Zero. We need to find a document that can possibly tell us which dog road is the actual dog road. Alright, here we are. The Bureau of Secret Tourism. We picked this up as well. The Bureau of Secret Tourism. Esoteric excursions for the intrepid and curious. All directions start from the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. River tunnels. These tunnels are a series of arterials excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now the tangled vessels of marooned echoes. Drive clockwise until you reach the Feather. Pause for a moment to consider the cave walls. Reverse direction and drive counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Now turn around again and you're almost upon it. To return, simply find the Feather again and turn around. The Dymaxion Gallery. A gallery of mislaid features abandoned on a lowly highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. Drive counterclockwise toward the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn around again and head just past the barn. To return to the Bureau, find the TV again, and again turn around. The Mineral Springs. These mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat youth from the pores of the cave walls. Its sweet dampness evaporating then recollecting of the ruddy faces of rejuvenating bathers. Drive clockwise to the Feather, then come back again to the Talon. Turn again, and there you are. To return to the Bureau, find the Feather, again and again turn around. Meditation tunnels. It is recommended as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerned, slowly like a breathing exercise. Drive clockwise to the Scarecrow, then turn around and head counterclockwise until you reach the Pendulum. Reverse direction once more, keep driving clockwise, and you can't miss it. To return, find the Scarecrow again, turn around, and before long you'll be back in the Bureau. the Deep Valley, the site of an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps by a casualty in the battle between God and dinosaur. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle. Turn around, drive clockwise to the still. Turn around, and you're nearly on top of it. To return, find the bottle again, turn around, and head back. Happy hitchhiking. Oh, and a phone number. Okay. Let's figure out where the fuck we're going then. Whoa. Now look at that. Oh, it's the crystal. So I reach the crystal and then turn around for the church. Oh, yeah, the store. Yeah, there we go. This is the self-storage. This is that church I was supposed to get to. Right, so we need to find those locations, right? Act 2, Scene 2. St. Thomas Church. Located inside of a self-storage unit underground. Okay, lovely. Whoa. Is that it over there? I don't see any congregation. Maybe it's after hours. Let's see what the janitor knows, I guess. Oh, here for the night mass? Where's the congregation? Yes, this must look pretty strange. A church without a congregation. When they first moved here, man, this place was packed. They had a mass every night, 2 on Sunday. But it got a bit awkward to fit everyone in, and the numbers quickly dwindled. Once folks started to see it as a thing that was falling apart, they lost their center of gravity and just started wobbling. Then the preacher stopped coming too, but he left his old tapes. Same with the organist. And I found some old acetates in the Bureau archives. Photos of people in churches, so I kept it running. You do what you have to do, right? We all got a job. Work is play for moral stakes. That's the title of the evening's homily, in fact. So I guess if you folks aren't here for mass, you must be looking for the old bureau records. I moved them down to unit C315 to make room for the mass. It's down there at the other end of the building, same floor. I need to get the night mass started, but you can borrow my keys. I'll go. You wait here. Rest your leg. You're looking kind of pale. Nice lady. Well, I better get this running. Brandon presses play on an old tape machine. Okay, let's listen to the homily, I guess. There are many days on which we proclaim the value of labor and celebrate the piety of the hard-working through feast or abstinence, recognizing St. Joseph the Worker, who was foster father to our Lord Jesus, who trained him in carpentry and in the merit of sweat. And this is one such day. On this day, I hope you're all enjoying my priest voice. Somebody who's never set foot in a church in his life. We celebrate with the feast of St. Joseph the Worker, and on this day, other workers are also celebrating. Workers who do not attend Mass, or even one like it. Even workers who do not attend a church at all, but who toil with clarity, with dedication, with perspicacity, who do as we do here in our church, inasmuch as they reflect on the activity of God. As we do, they cultivate the earth, and at sundown they call the fruit of labor very good. Beyond the church, this day is celebrated in remembrance of a violent protest in Chicago, and to honor the 4 martyrs who were unjustly persecuted in its wake, having not only pursued their vocation in their daily labor, but also having pursued their avocation in the form of protest, activism, community building, radicalization, scholarship, and finally martyrdom. There, in our avocation being, as it should be for us all, as members of the church or otherwise, to secure our fellow workers the right to labor with dignity. So, just as there is no dignity without sacrifice, there is no vocation without avocation. Just as the left eye perceives that which is to the left, and the right eye perceives that which is to the right, and these images are summed, differentiated, and incorporated, and we find our minds an after image of divine light, only where love and need are one, and the work is play for moral stakes, is the deed ever really done, for heaven and for the future's sakes. Okay, that's it. Next is some rituals that you and I aren't allowed to participate in, I don't think. I don't remember them anyway. Hi, got it. Got what? What? I found what we came here to get. The file on the street name changes. You don't look good. Let's head back to the bureau and get this straightened out. And then maybe we should go to that doctor the clerk recommended. Well, that was interesting. Haven't given a sermon in a while. Maybe I should do a little bit more of that sometime. Well, that was ominous. Alright, now back onto... Jesus, are you alright? What the hell? I'm okay. I got you. You're alright. Shit, your leg is pinned. I'm gonna pull you out. We have to get you out of here. There you go. Are you hurt? Can you put any weight on that? Like, we were just here. This is what happened to the mine. It's all messed up. Here, let's take you on the tram. There you go. Now let's see if this thing has power. Hey, old man, can you hear me? Look at me. Can you hear me? What happened? I don't know. He collapsed. I think he blacked out. He was mumbling about the old mine for a minute. The old mine where we met. I'm okay. Bullshit. We're going to see that doctor. She hands Brandon the doctor's card. How do we get to this address from here? I don't know. It's pretty tricky going back and forth between, you know, here and there. The bureau's the only way I know. All those folks do it all the time. Commuters. Just go back the way you came. Find the crystal and then turn around. Okay. Well, let's get going then. I'm going to keep driving in a circle until we see something aside from the crystal. Okay, there's the crystal. Okay, never mind. I have to keep going. Okay. There's the crystal, and now I gotta go back around. Alright, there's the bureau. Perfect. Act 2, Scene 3. Oh, Jack, now you'll be able to actually see the bears. The Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Alright, let's get a move on. Homer, you stay with the car. Oh, hey, it's that guy again with the antlers. Carrington. Hello, my friends. I'm relieved to run across you again. Hello, Homer. No better place to be on the road for a hound. I'm afraid I've been unsuccessful in my search for a venue for my play. Have you found anything in your travels? Well, there's a self-storage facility not far from here. Storage facility? That doesn't sound particularly intimate. There's a church inside of it. Ah, how desperate, how earnestly spiritual. Just to imagine a choir resonating and reverberating through a concrete storage facility. Yes, the psychoacoustics of the space are of prime concern. Psychoacoustics, definitely. Psychoacoustics are a field of perceptual study. How do we perceive sound? What does it do to our souls? How do sounds work through us? The play must resonate through my actors in their performance, and then it must reverberate out from them. and again resonate through the audience. Theater is mostly acoustic, you see. Yes, I think the self-storage facility will do wonderfully. A humble and intimate production in the belly of industry. You've been immeasurably helpful. If you have time later this evening, I'd love to go over my production notes with you. Just meet me there in a few hours if you'd like. Many thanks. Hi, Marianne. Back so soon? Can we talk to Clerk Lula Chamberlain again? I'm afraid she just left. In a big hurry, actually. Something happened with your meeting? She seemed pretty interested in the gas station attendant. I don't know who that is, but she did seem distressed. Well, heading back to the interstate? I can process you whenever you're ready to go back. Just let me know. We've got a few more things to see down here, I'd say. Okay, I want to explore the route, but first, I have to show the bear room, or the floor that is filled with bears. Oh yeah, Conway, you're looking really rough. All right, to third floor, bears. There we are. This is the bear room. And they're all looking at me. And the bears on the balcony. Howdy. I don't want to touch the bears. The Other America is truly a fascinating place. God, they are just slowly watching. It's so uncomfortable. You gotta wonder why the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces has a floor dedicated exclusively for bears. Alright. Let's see if we can't find one of the things that we found in that tourist bureau, book. Yeah, they are indeed bears. I just wanted to show off the bears. They were bringing me such joy and discomfort. Kind of this game in a nutshell. Hi, Homer. Alright, let's get back in the truck. Yeah, they probably are giving you the exact same reaction, because it's the same one you get if you go into the conference room. So maybe I did just interrupt a bear meeting. Alright, let's get moving. So, let's see. First one, if we're going to find anything, the river tunnels. Drive clockwise until I reach the feather. Okay. So, keep an eye out. Let me know when you see the feather. That's the pipe organ. The staircase. The projector. The bell. The tree. The sprocket. The anchor. The bicycle. The feather. Okay. So reverse direction and counterclockwise until you hit the birdhouse. Considering the cave walls. Until I hit the birdhouse, then turn around again. Okay. Keep going until we see the birdhouse. Okay, now we keep going. The tunnels. The tunnels are described as a series of arterials excavated by runoff from an underground river which long ago evaporated, now a tangled vessel of marooned echoes. They're surprisingly large. Distant scratching sounds catches Conway's attention from a tunnel leading downwards. Another tunnel runs into the darkness on the left. I am absolutely going down. Conway and Shandon climb down. The tunnel narrows a bit. The air is warmer here. Shandon has a sense that something is hiding just out of sight. Oh. 3 gray-furred cats sit on a piece of driftwood, tails coiled. They regard the intruders for a moment, then return to their indifferent leisure. Okay, well that happened. To return, simply find the feather again and turn around. Okay. Let's go and find the feather. Okay, now we turn around. The sandwich. Okay, now we'll find. Let's find the Dymaxion Gallery. Drive counterclockwise until you reach the TV. When you reach the TV, drive clockwise to the antenna. Now turn again and head just past the barn. Okay. So keep an eye out for the TV. The icosahedron. Okay. The cathode ray. The bottle. Ah, the TV. Okay, so now we go until we find the antenna. The blades. The rocking chair. The antenna. Okay, and then we go to the barn. There it is, the gallery. The brochure describes this place as a gallery of mislaid features abandoned on lowly highways as American industrial design shifted its gaze to the intangible. It is a large warehouse full of oddly shaped vehicles, blimp-like rusted vessels mostly painted in a dull green that is now faded towards brown. No path has been carved to navigate between them, and many have been damaged enough to leave menacing bits of metal running jaggedly through their small open spaces. That's all a visitor can do to stand at the edge of a building, necks craned, trying to get a glimpse of something. Well, that was a discovery. Okay, let's head back to the bureau, find the TV again, and turn around. Okay. So, let's go find the TV. Are we enjoying this road trip? I'm enjoying this road trip. Okay, maybe if I go this way. The H frame. Okay. Let's keep moving. Okay. So that's the TV. Now we turn around and then head to the bureau. Yes, gotta enjoy the journey. There's the tree. Just gotta keep going until we find the bureau again, the sprocket. There's the anchor, the bicycle. Do tell me if you see the feather. Oh, never mind, there's the feather. Drive clockwise to the feather, then come back again to the talon. Turn again, and there you are. Okay. So, let's keep going this way. Keep an eye out for the Talon. The birdhouse. Ah, the Talon. Okay, and then we go back around again. There we go, the springs. As described in the brochure, these mineral springs radiate with vigor and sweat youth from the pores of the cave walls. Its sweet dampness evaporating and then recollecting on the ruddy faces of rejuvenating bathers. The air does have a warmth and fragrance to it that seems to relax the nostrils. Shannon encourages Conway to rest his leg in the water. Let's do it. Conway rests for a while. The water is warmer than it looks, and strangely soothing. Conway closes his eyes and reflects on the day's work. He awoke at 5. He moved some of Charlie's old books from the barn into Lysette's living room. She liked to look at them sometimes, and he knew this would be a difficult day. He fed Homer. He made a few other small deliveries, picked up a package that Lysette had been... had been waiting for her at the post office, and then drove out to look for the last address on his manifest. Leaving the spring, Conway finds a few small aquatic insects nestled in his pant leg. He leaves them behind. Okay, now we gotta figure out how to get back to the bureau. Okay, let's find the feather and turn around again. Actually, let's keep going until we find the scarecrow to get to these meditation tunnels. Yom. The nest. Okay, there's the feather. Let's keep going again. Oh, wait. Wait, that's the Talon. Come on, I want to find a scarecrow. Okay, let's keep going. In that case, let's keep rolling back. There's the birdhouse. There's the Talon. I'm lost! I'm trapped in this Mobian strip of an underground route. Not Mobian, Mobius strip. Okay, let's keep going this way, maybe. Okay, back to the nests. Okay, there's the feathers, so I think I might be heading in the right direction, I think. The wheelbarrow. The antlers, the tunnel is getting larger. Okay, there's the scarecrow. So I reach the scarecrow, and then I turn around until I reach the pendulum. There we go. Whoop. Deja vu. Have I been in this place before? Diesel engine reverberates. What have I just found? That's odd. What? Just, you know, deja vu. Same here. I always feel kind of embarrassed when that happens. Like, I'm in a play, but I don't know my lines. Oh well. I wish I remembered the rest of the words to the song, but... God, this place is so... You know, it was mentioned earlier. Yeah, you could absolutely equate Other America to a liminal space. Hello? Oh! Oh, look at that! It's the collapsed tunnel! We've been here before! What? Hey? What? Huh? Who? The bat feeder? Oh, the pendulum. Okay, and then we reverse. Past the animal bones. And there we go, the tunnels. Oh yeah, we've been here now. There we go. Yeah, that's it. The brochure for these mossy tunnels recommends taking them as a site for meditation, an introspective labyrinth through which to walk one's concerns, slowly, like a breathing exercise. A narrow tunnel extends to the right, and another to the left. Left. Conway and Shannon go left. Conway and Shannon enter a cramped passage. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. Now Moss begins to go left. Conway and Shannon crawl on hands and knees toward a slick passageway. The moss is more glowing more brightly now. Left. Conway and Shannon step into a large open room. The glow of the moss is almost blinding. Left. A narrow tunnel extends to the right and another to the left. Close my eyes. Well, that happened. Okay, now let's find the deep valley. Drive counterclockwise to the bottle. Then turn around. Then drive clockwise to the still. Turn around and you're nearly on top of it. Okay. Let's keep going. Keep an eye out for the bottle. That's the rowboat. There's the bat feeder. There's the pendulum again. There's the rowboat. I might be going in the wrong direction. There's a scarecrow. There's the animal bones. There's the casket. Okay, I'm gonna turn around back to the scarecrow. There's the bat wings. The cactus. Cactus. The lightning bolt. The sandwich. The icosahedron. The cathode ray. The bottle. Okay. So, we got the bottle. Then we turn around, drive clockwise to the still, and then we turn around to the still. Okay. Whoa. Okay, there's the still, and now we turn back around. And there's the valley. What the brochure calls an epic laceration to the very heart of the world, certainly left by some great power, perhaps a casualty in a battle between God and dinosaur, is more a rocky valley separating the road from a sheer cliff face. It's difficult to see how deep it runs, as the rock slopes into shadow, but the few dozen lanterns strung along the at an interval suggested scale, larger than the basketball court, but smaller than a financial district. Okay. Well, now we just gotta find the bottle again and then turn around. Time to head back to the bureau in that case. Okay, no, we need to keep going this way. Okay, we found the bottle. Now we gotta keep going back to the Bureau. There's the tree. The sprocket. The anchor. The bicycle. Hooray! We're hopelessly lost again. It was the feather. The wheelbarrow. The antlers. Making fun of me because I've only got the one. The scarecrow. Oh, there we go. Found the Bureau. Now we can get the hell out of here. Act 2, Scene 4. The Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Alright, let's go and talk to Marianne, see if we can't get the hell out of here. Marianne! Yeah, we're ready to be processed. Yes. She hands the receptionist Liz card. Can you tell us how to get to this address? We're looking for Dr. Truman. Of course. This is a neighborhood just outside of Bowling Green. Just get on 65, going southwest. Just take a right past the observatory, just before the river. If you continue north, you'll be there shortly. Happy to help. Alright. Now the question is... Okay. So... Get on 65 going southwest, then take a right just past the observatory, just before the river. Okay, so let's get on the 65 southwest, just before the river. Okay, well, there's the observatory. And then she just said, hey, yeah, head north before the river. Okay, so Dr. Truman's house? The neighborhood of this address on Lula's card has been demolished. In its place is a large museum still partially under construction. Okay. A museum, you say? Is this one also going to have a book that predicts my broken leg? Act 2, Scene 5. Museum of Dwellings. Oh, hi, Homer. Oh, yeah, he was talking to his dog. Guy was a weirdo. What did he say? Just small talk, you know, like you're on your, talk to your buddies or something. Like you talk to a dock worker, just like, damn, this is a lot of rain. I haven't seen rain like this since that storm hit a couple years ago back that took out Lesette's herb garden. I just feel bad for that old dog getting dragged over by a couple of drunks. Old dog like that should be sleeping on a porch somewhere, but that's loyalty for you. Well, they didn't stay long anyway. I heard that the man and lady talking when they first came in, but they didn't see me. What were you doing up that late? Mom lets me stay up late all the time. She said it's okay. I was just looking for frogs. What were the man and lady talking about? The man said his leg was hurting for him. They were looking for Dr. Truman, but he was already gone. They didn't know that, so they kept looking around. Umbrella. Dedicated umbrella button, yay. I just assumed they were from the power company. You know, they're always coming by unannounced and messing with this or that. I just shut myself up in my room to wait it out. Nelson's getting involved. Well, how did they get in? Must have been one of those kids who left the front door unlocked. Something like that. It's got to be done. They run around like animals. You know that floor left a can of soda on top of my shelter door, and I almost killed myself slipping on that sticky mess that next morning? Something's got to be done. What in the name of hoo-ha have we stumbled into? Well, there's the car outside at the very least. Unless there's something else here. It's pouring up a storm outside. Where am I going? Oh, rotating camera. Hello? Wow. Hello? Anybody here? I guess they must have gone through some papers here. It was in some disarray and a few folders were pulled out and left on the table. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I only noticed because Diane is such a stickler. She's real organized, I mean. What folders were they looking at? Yeah, mostly stuff about the building site, I guess. Whew. They had a list of all the homes we relocated here. A list of original residences before we leveled the neighborhood. Guess they were looking for one of the old residents. They pulled out a list of the folks who didn't take the offer, folks who moved elsewhere, but they filed that back out of order, so I guess they didn't find what they were looking for there. Hey, while you're here, we're just gonna slow down. It seems like, I know you folks just know what you're doing, but it seems like residents are just kind of settling in. We'll get your boys back to work soon. Yeah, sure, I get you. You happen to get that last invoice? Okay, so, nothing over there. Umbrella. 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 So these people who got relocated by storms or something? Into a museum of dwellings? I heard them banging around out there. I just stayed quiet. I don't know what they wanted. Just put my headphones on and tried to ignore them, to tell you the truth. This is deeply weird, but very interesting. I'm fascinated. Yeah, they came by and knocked on the window, and we had a bit of a talk through the glass. I would have come out, but, you know, shady characters. What did you talk about? They were asking about Dr. Truman. I told them all I know about just not very much. What do you know about Dr. Truman? I told him. He moved in here with the rest of us when you folks bought up the neighborhood, and then one day his house was gone. That's all I know about that. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Okay, so Dr. Truman is missing. Or at least he's not there. This place is weird. They were hollering at that empty tent you folks have on display. Eh. Hey, if you ever need anyone to stay in there, I've been in worse positions. Do you know, at first I thought it might be Hudson walking up to visit. I heard him working on his boat just a bit earlier, before the storm started. But then I saw the stranger's limping gait and the young woman with him, and I knew it couldn't be. I invited them in for a glass of bourbon, which they politely declined, so I just talked to them on the porch for a bit. What did you talk about? Oh, we talked about this, about the neighborhood. I told him about the Hudson and his sailboats, and the nice young couple in the greenhouse, and the charming Dr. Truman who used to live here. They're very interested in him, but of course, well, I don't know where he went. Do you know, I don't believe either of them set foot in a houseboat before. I don't know what that older man. I don't know if that older man ever seen the ocean. In fact, it has always been my fondest dream to retire on a houseboat. That's why I accepted your offer and moved in here. It isn't perfect, but what home ever is? I only wish the house would sway a bit. I find that settles my nerves. Well, if we have another storm like that last one. So these are all people who've been displaced because the power company bought up their homes? It's very interesting. Now let's see if there are any other houses on the other side. That I'll take a look at this lift. Oh, hello. Sure, I talked to him for a bit. Actually, we talked for quite a while. I was busy. I was happy for the company. Can't get to sleep in a storm like that. Never could. What did you talk about? I had a bottle in my coat, and I could see the old guy looking at it, and his leg was hurt pretty bad, so I offered him some. Got real awkward about it. Bet he's in a program. Anyway, they were asking about Dr. Truman. I remember him. He was here for a bit, and then he left. So that's what I told him. We ought to get some real chickens in that coop. Do some homesteading. None of these folks know how to live off the land, you know what I mean? It's just a display. Another kind of dwelling. Yeah, no offense, you guys. I mean, I appreciate what y'all have done for us. Doghouse. There's Homer limping along. I think you need to get some real horses in the stable. Did the strangers go in the stable? No, they just poked around for a bit and talked about barns. They were pretty boring. That dog was in nearly as bad a shape as the old man, just sort of shrugging along. They found some treats in the doghouse exhibit. That seemed to cheer him up a bit. Yeah, we got treats for Homer. Okay, not this way. Okay. Is that a birdhouse? Is that another dwelling? The moment I now recall most clearly from their short visit was the birdcage exhibit. The old man stopped to rest, or maybe to think. The young woman had been anxious up to that point, but she stopped as well and examined the birdcage more closely. It seemed to elicit a tenderness from her. She ran one fingernail along the bars of the wire cage, marking out a tuneless scale like a child's xylophone. And then they moved on. I was playing in the empty cabin, and they came by. They asked about Dr. Truman. I know where he went, but I didn't tell him. Where did Dr. Truman go? It's a secret. Ezra told me I can't tell anyone else. Who is Ezra? He's my age. He doesn't really live here. He's just passing through with his brother Julian. First, they're going to help us, but I can't say more about that. We share a lot of secrets. The lady asked me about my parents, and I told them they were upstairs in the greenhouse. Do you want to hear a weird story? Of course I do. The old man asked me about the cabin. He said it looked like another house he knew, and he wanted to know where it came from. I told him nobody lived there, so he went inside. He took a long time exploring. When he came back, he told me all about it. Where was the other house he knew? I don't remember. He seemed sad. Was it the home of a friend? Yeah, I remember. His friend lived there when they were younger. He moved away for a while, and when he came back, she was married and had a new house. He's still friends with her, but it makes him sad. He went upstairs and also looked around the other rooms. I played with the dog. What did he do upstairs? He looked in some boxes. He looked out the window. He could see the museum better than when he was downstairs. He could tell it was all put together, and the cabin too. He could see the shape of it better up there. Now the part that is weird. He said he went into the basement. That cabin doesn't have a basement. He said it found a staircase in a closet. And then he found a rope leading to a long pit, and he climbed down. It was so long, the walls were covered in glowing moss. He tried to eat, he used the light of the moss to find a lake at the bottom of the pit. The water slipped around until he didn't know where he was, and finally he fell asleep in the water. He woke up on the floor of the cabin. He came back outside. He said goodbye, and I didn't talk to them anymore. I beg the fuck pardon? What could you have possibly meant by that? I am very confused and scared. Alright, let's go and head upstairs to that greenhouse that they were talking about. That is some other America shit right there. Oh, that's right, I never told the story, the second encounter I had with the other America. I might save it for another day, but it's a doozy, that's for sure. Alright, let's head on up. Going up. Going up. Oh, I gotta wait for Homer. It's a good old dog. Elevator rumbles. All right. Intense thunderstorm. Hello? They wouldn't come in, just rushing around. You could tell they were worn and it was a late night, but just rushing around. Well, there was some urgency to the older man's injuries, so it's understandable. How is he injured? Whoa! Did you see that bird? His leg, it was twisted or something. He held it while he walked, made these painful little sounds in his throat. Oh, how? I don't know. I didn't ask. It would have been rude, I think. Well, I just don't know. I suppose we never will. Yep, there's that bird again. Giant fucking bird. Is this the part of the United States where there are thunderhawks? Or thunderbirds? I heard a shout from downstairs. The old man had stumbled in the rain. I stayed inside with the lights off. There's no sense getting involved. Yep, there it is again! I didn't see or hear a thing all night. I was in the back doing inventory when they came by. I got 30 cases of candles in, and each one of those has got to be individually labeled, you know? But I heard some of the other neighbors that they weren't up to any harm, just passing through. Oh, that's Ezra. I saw you folks drive up. I like your truck. What kind of truck is it? Got it. Do you know where Dr. Truman is? Yes, ma'am. He hangs out in the forest. Me and Julian took him out there a few nights ago and he didn't want to come back. He lives there all the time now. The museum's an okay place to live in the daytime, but it's no good at night. Folks just can't sleep in a place like this. But when they do, it gives them nightmares. So we take them out to the forest to sleep, and then bring them back in the morning. Is your family out in the forest? Oh no, I don't know where they are. Me and Julian were looking for them for a while, but... Anyway, we have a job to do here now. Taking these people out of the forest at night so they can sleep, and maybe if the rest of them will be like Dr. Truman and want to stay out there, we'll get back to looking. Can you tell us how to get to the forest? You have to follow the Green River way out east and then hop over Lake Cumberland. The roads don't go there. But me and Julian can take you. We were just about to go anyway. I've just got to call him over. Wait. Oh, good lord! I've been kidnapped by a giant bird! Whoa. Oh, there's the church. Country church with a pitched roof and a 3-story spire. A large LED display glows in the parking lot. Whoa. This is wild. Farmhouse. Flying past at the speed and angle, the farmhouse is invisible among the trees. Its location is only marked by Conway and Shannon's memories. Whoa, small figure. A tiny gray figure walks alongside the road carrying what appears to be a guitar case. He's followed closely by a smaller shape. A dog? He suddenly winks at a few, perhaps into the woods. Oh, there's the bait shop. A large dirt parking... Yep, there's the bait shop. Okay, so... let's go back to the river, I guess, because it's on the other side of the... I'm dizzy. Okay, green... So go along Green River. Gotta get to the forests. God, look at the patterning of that. Okay, there's the Elkhorn mine. Gotta go past it. Keep going along the Green River. Oh, there's a lake. A shadowy figure drags itself out of the lake, shuffles its limbs into a blue smart suit, and trudges slackly out of view. Do you know how to get to the lake? Okay, so keep going along the river. It's not that way. There we go. Keep following the river until we reach the forests. Did the G-Man just... So the G-Man comes out of the lake. I knew it. Okay. I might be lost, but this is very cool. Okay, here's Lake Cumberland. And there's the forest. Okay. I'm waiting. I'm going to be surprised if we come landing down and the truck is also there. Act 2, scene. A forest. Oh my god, it is an eagle! Holy shit! This is Other America with a capital A. It's okay. Just take it easy. I'll just close my eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. Just take some of the strain off your leg for a minute and we'll keep going. Why is this delivery so important to you? It's my last delivery. Oh, you're retiring or something? Oh, sorry. Last set's closing up the shop. That's... damn. What do you like to do? Just lay around? Julian too, he sleeps all day. The Eagles are coming, Conway! Oh, we got singing. I want to listen to the song more, just... Okay, while the song is playing, might as well tell the story that I was going to. So, My second encounter with Other America was when I was taking a road trip with my grandfather from Colorado to Rhode Island. And while we were driving, we decided to take a little bit of a detour in Iowa, I think it was? Yeah, it was Iowa. We were driving along the road and came across a collapsed warehouse. Like a giant collapsed warehouse. Completely fallen down. Old, rusted, completely crumbled. Except for one thing. There was one thing that wasn't collapsed. A spiral staircase located right in the middle of it. And it was going absolutely nowhere. A genuine spiral staircase. And it just was the only thing in that warehouse that never collapsed. And my grandfather, bless his heart, tried to dare me to climb up it. Thankfully, I did not. I'm not stupid. But that was my second Other America encounter. I like the schoolhouse story a bit more, but yeah, that one absolutely still in my mind. Shouldn't be much farther now. I think I see where the settlement ends over there. This forest is full of shadows. The moonlight helps. Closer to the cities, you don't get moonlight like this. It all gets washed out. Light pollution, you know? Guess it's still there, you just can't see it. How are you feeling? I just need to rest. We're almost there. Dr. Truman will have a nice couch or something you can rest on and some medicine or something. I don't know. Have you ever been over to the lake? I went there once with my folks. Had some burgers. It's pretty great. Did we also see the man who emerges from the lake emerge from the lake? Yeah. Uh, vanishing tree tent. Am I running around in a circle, or am I just completely being fucked with? I can't tell. Do you have any family you're close with? Brothers or sister? Kids? Just last set's family, I guess. Yeah? Husband, bunch of kids? Our husband, Ira, and I were friends. Yeah, you mentioned him, your old boss. Fierce-tempered, hard-working, up by his bootstraps kind of guy, right? Sounds pretty intense. Guess I was always close with Weaver. As close as someone can be with a girl like that. She was always on her own wavelength, but we were the same age growing up and everyone else was so busy. When she disappeared, I got pretty angry, and I guess I just stayed that way. Never really understood her, but I knew her. It's just lonely without someone like that around. I'm sorry, you're a good listener. I bet you come from a family of big dogs. Well, I have a good-sized family too, I guess. Guess we'll see the rest of them pretty soon. Oh, look at that effect with the car. Oh, that is blowing my mind. That is so cool. This forest is incredible. He's inside with Dr. Truman. You coming in? Sure, I'll come in. Dr. Truman lets me watch TV sometimes. My folks never watch TV, but I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks, too. I fix TVs, you know. Whoa, cool, a TV scientist. I bet you make a lot of money. My folks really had a nice house, bigger than any of these houses, but it made them worried all the time, and the bank took it back. We had to sleep at the bus station, but I could never just get to sleep. So I went out to fly around every night with Julian. We flew really far, and we never got lost. But when we came back in the morning, they were all gone. I'll help you look for them. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can all go looking again later tonight. Let's go see what's on TV. Alright, how's my leg, Dr. Truman? And yeah, I think back during that exit interview is when I really realized how badly they had me. But how else can you pay for medical school? I have college friends with debts that you can't expect to pay that back unless you're planning to sell painkillers on the side or something. Or, some kind of administrative thing. I don't know. Having seen what arthritis did to my grandmother and my best friend in high school destroy his wrist building synthesizers. I mean, he was like 17. Ailments in the joints just seemed important to me. I hope that answers your question. Getting a scholarship with that pharmaceutical company had a lot of strings attached, but at least I have a bit somewhere to practice, even if I have to follow their market trends a bit. And hey, thanks to all those seminars, I'm an expert on medical uses of Neurofol TM. It's not so bad. It's about that leg. What happened exactly? Actually, it's like someone grabbed my leg in the dark. Grabbed? Like an animal? Or a piece of machinery? That could be ugly. I've seen some joints twisted right out of... Never mind, let's start the examination. The Bell Quilt Ramblers play My Long Journey Home on TV. What are they singing about? They're singing about travel. Yeah, they're traveling to... They want to go home. It's dark and raining and they don't know where to go, but they're not scared. Do you think they'll figure it out? I think so. Dr. Truman's going to help your friend. He'll be okay. But it's nothing we can't handle. You might have a few things to look out for in the future. Maybe a bit gentler with the leg or the way you walk, but you'll be okay. I've dealt with similar cases before. So the anesthetic we'll use is called Nurofen TM. It's pretty experimental, but it's more appropriate in cases like yours. The way it works is I'll count backwards from 5 to start the process, and then we'll just have normal conversation as the Nurofen TM takes effect. Then I'll get started. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's talk about building for a moment. The pharmaceutical company I'm in contact with recently acquired... Whoa. Nurofen TM does shit. Let's go. Wow. End of Act 2. No, it didn't crash. It was just make... Oh, wait, did the stream actually crash? Oh, no, it just slacked a bit. Okay. All right. Well, I think we are actually going to stop for now. We have a little bit extra in time. We'll do the intermission for the entertainment next time. So, in the interim, let's head back to my office, shall we? So, that was the start of Kentucky Route Zero. Fascinating game, to say the least. Very... I don't even know how to describe it. Like, what in the heck is going on? But it is... Oof. That was definitely experiment, to say the least. Well, it's a point-and-click adventure game set on the road in an America forgotten. But we will be continuing it next time. For now, I would like to say thank you so much for joining me on this fine Monday morning as we start on this brand new surreal adventure for this game. As per usual, the credit for the artist responsible for the assets and the model are located in the description. We have a link to the Discord server for more community engagement, where I am currently contemplating some sort of event later down the line, as well as a link to my shoddily made YouTube channel, where I will be uploading piecemeal archive bits of the streams. If anyone is further interest, you can follow those links there and continue to contribute to the channel. If you haven't, please do drop a follow or spread the word so we can reach the 50 milestone and eventually get to do that fun little Batman villain ranking. And as well as contribute to the subscriber milestone, where if we hit 10 subscribers, I will do a stream covering every where I will be covering every Spider-Man villain. So that'll be a fun one as somebody who only has passing knowledge of the Marvel Universe. Until next time, though, I will be sending you off to go and have some fun on another channel to enjoy spending time with them. See who could be. Who can enjoy that company? Looks like there's nothing really coming up. Oh well. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me, my minions, henchmen, interns, and employees, and I will see you later on the factory.